pot by accident. And I posted it on
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name is Jay. Welcome to the Stitchy Jam Knits and Sews podcast. I'm coming to you from Sydney, Australia, and it is summer here, and it is that funny time between Christmas and New Year. And there must be a full moon because I just recorded a full 30-minute episode. It was wonderful, and I went to upload it and I realized it hadn't been recording, which is a bit strange because I remember it recording. However, my phone died in the middle of it saying there wasn't enough storage space, and so perhaps that's why it didn't save. I'm not sure. Anywho, I am going to do my best to remember what I talked about. Basically, this is a do-over. So if you're new here, welcome. I am Jay. I'm from Sydney, Australia, which I've just said. I am neurospicy. I live at home with my mum and my 2 cats. I work in a hotel as a barista, food and beverage attendant, and I love all things creative. I love rescuing things from landfill. I love secondhand bits and pieces. I love to read. I love cat cuddles. What else can I tell you? I like to upcycle, recycle. I like to be frugal, and Christmas is my favorite time of year. So I'm really sad at the moment because it's over. But I've been feeling a bit funny about it, and I've been tired. I've been working since Boxing Day. So I had Christmas Day at home. It was beautiful. It was lovely with my family. Thank you for all of those people who are here and who are returning and who joined me for Vlogmas this year. I'm grateful to you. I had a lot of fun making it. And so I just thought I'd come on here before the year ends and have a chat with you and let you know what I'm knitting on, what I've done in the last year, which isn't really that much, and what I have planned for 2026. I have hit the old, I'm tired, it's 5 o'clock, maybe even 6 o'clock, 5:30 I think, in the afternoon. And as I filmed my original version of this a few hours ago, I wasn't expecting to have to do it again. So yeah, here we are, and I'll do my best. So yeah, I did Vlogmas this year. I had a lot of fun doing it. I had an advent calendar that my mum and I made for each other. So I'll be talking about the things I've been knitting on, some acquisitions, and what I am currently reading and what I've got planned to read as well. So I've never done an advent knit, and I decided to do one this year using my Fibersmith advent calendar from last year, which was called Cabin in the Woods, which is a mixture of 4-ply merino, and I'll put all the details in the description, but these are the colors. And the cowl that I'm working on, which is nowhere near finished, I'm on day 9 of 24, because I work, and because I've got an injury, and because it's a busy time of year, and because even though in the beginning I put a lot of pressure on trying to get each section done each day. I had to really give myself grace and a break and realize that I could only do so much. So that's okay. It's been a really enjoyable knit. I will tell you what it is before I show you. So I stumbled across this on Ravelry, and where is it? It was a mystery knit along. So you got a new piece of the pattern every day. I really hope that this records properly. Otherwise, that's it. I'm not doing it again until I figure out storage on my phone. All right. So it's called the Interchangable. I don't really know. Interchangable. I don't know how to pronounce it. Interchangable. Interchangable, I think. Mystery Shawl 2025 by Renee Strauss. It uses 10 gram mini skeins, and I have 20 gram mini skeins. I think the light's going. Let me just open up the blind. Sorry about that. Like I said, it's a different time of day to what I was doing it earlier. Hopefully I have enough light to finish this episode. It uses 10 gram mini skeins. I have 20 gram mini skeins, so I'm doing 10 grams of each of the 12 twice rather than 24 by 10. I'm doing the small size, and so at the end of it, it will be 127 centimeters wide, unblocked. And it's been a joy to knit. It's stockinette. Is it stockinette? No, it's just knit stitch, which the name for that is escaping me. It's not stockinette. It's just good old fashioned knitting. Back and forth, back and forth. Name is escaping me. You'll all know what I'm talking about. Just good old knit stitch with a few details in between. So where's the front? And then this is what it looks like. This is where I'm up to, day 9. And the colours are just stunning. It's called Cabin in the Woods by Fibersmith, as I've just said. And so then I'll do 12 and then 12 repeat. And when it's on me, this will give you some kind of idea of what it will look like. And so when I get to the next section and start again, it'll just be this lovely wrap of colour. And if you are returning here, you'll know that these colours are not my usual colours, but this is something different, and it's soft and squishy and lovely, and at the moment getting everywhere and tangled around my necklace. So I'm plodding along with that. I'm really enjoying that, so I'll keep doing that one until it's obviously finished. See, I'm now tired. I really hope that this podcast is okay for you. I'm disappointed that I had a really positive energy, lovely light. Everything was great, but it didn't save to my phone. Anyway, you don't really want to hear about that for the next half an hour, so let's move on. I also did a pair of socks that I have been knitting on, and because I live in Sydney, Australia, it's been 42 degrees. It's been up there, heat, hot, humid, horrible for most of the summer, so I'm not bothered that these aren't finished because they will be very soon and they'll be ready for the winter. Now, they are West Yorkshire Spinners, Mulled Wine, Signature Sparkle for 2025. which is a 4-ply, and it's really lovely to work with, and once it's blocked, it's really soft. I'm on my second sock now. So this is the first one. This is called the Gilbert sock, Gilbert pattern, and it's by the kitchen sink shop. I believe she's based in Canada, and it was the Anne of Green Gables collection. My socks are imperfect. They don't match. There's lots of mistakes in them because I did a lot of knitting while I was talking to other people, socializing over Christmas. Not my strong point. I did a lot of these on my lunch break in work, as you'll see if you watched in Vlogmas. And so it wasn't like full undivided attention in any way, shape or form. And although they're going to look very similar, they're definitely not the same. I'm up to the heel, flap and gusset on the second sock. The back is supposed to be all ribbing, and as you can see, I accidentally kept going around with the pattern. And definitely not perfect, but they will still keep my feet warm in the winter. So that's okay. My life when it comes to knitting or anything is imperfect, and I feel like that's true of all of us. I do have high standards and I do put a lot of pressure on myself, but in the last, let's say 3 or 4 months, especially when it comes to knitting, I've stopped doing that. I want to enjoy myself and relax. I'm a process knitter, I've discovered. When things are made, I look at them and think, wow, I did make that, that's wonderful. But the enjoyment that I get is from the process, and I've learned a lot of new skills over the last 12 months. And when I look back on my time over the last 12 months, there's lots of unfinished projects. And some I've lost motivation for, some I have got, sidetracked before they even started, because that happens. We find other new shiny things. And I figure it's okay because it's all part of the journey in creating and enjoying what we're creating. I started off this year with really good intentions. I wrote a list, I did a podcast about all the knits I was going to do in 2025, and honestly, for most of them, I haven't done them. I promised myself I'm not going to do that for 2026. My goal is to embrace imperfectionism, is to enjoy the slow pace of knitting, is to not put too much pressure on myself, is to really enjoy it for what it is, which is to meditate, relax, unwind, and get myself off my phone, off the internet, off devices scrolling, and just be in the moment. It's really good for my mental health. I've had an injury this year with tendinitis, and I haven't been able to knit during a 3-4 month period. And let me tell you that it made a big difference to my mental health. So taking that step back and that pressure off and that breath, and realize why we started knitting in the first place, is to slow down, is to be in the moment, is to be mindful, and to really enjoy that process, and to not put pressure on ourselves to be perfect or to produce or to be fast or to just get overwhelmed in trying to keep up with other people. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And if that's what gets you joy, go for it. But I'm taking the slow breath approach. And my goal is to finish my shawl, my socks, and then my best friend's birthday is in February, and I started a pair of socks for her this year, which I need to finish. And then I also have, after all of those 3 things are complete, I am going to keep working on my Sally vest, which is a Scrappy vest, which my goal for this last year was to use all my stash. Not all of it, but as in use from my stash, not purchase anything new. And I did really well with that for the most part. I have had some vouchers, I have had some gifts, and I have bought some Christmas yarn. So I didn't entirely make it through the year, but for the most part, I have used stash. My Sally vest, which is here, I have been using all of my DK scraps, and I stopped working on it because of Christmas, but when all of the Christmas and gift knits are out of the way, I don't mean out of the way as in I'm not enjoying them or I'm going to rush them, but just when they're finished, I will continue to work on this. This is the back panel. And I have been learning along the way, and I need to unpick a bit because my German short rows on the second time I tried them down here, they're not correct, so I need to do that again. So this is where I'm at with that, and it's just a really good way to learn. I've never done a garment fully before yet, and I really like wearing vests, and I really want to use my stash. It's a really good way to get that done. I'm gonna have to pause you for a minute. I think my mum's coming through the door. Bear with me for a moment. I'm back talking about imperfection. This is going to be imperfect also. I'm drinking this lovely Christmas tea. I don't want to spill it. That I got for Christmas, believe it or not. It's delicious. So that's all I am knitting on at the moment, and the only other thing I have planned leads into the acquisitions. I have a guy who I make coffee for every week. He works for the club, he works for football, and he's asked me to knit him a beanie in Aboriginal colours. I struggled to find wool anywhere. And so I've got, and the good thing about this is that it's acrylic, and he's going to be out on the football field in the rain, in the mud, you know, getting back, throwing it around the locker room. So acrylic is the best option. And it was super cheap. It feels horrible. There's nothing wrong with acrylic at all. But this is like probably the cheapest acrylic you could ever find in your whole life. So it's like hard to explain. I think it'll be fine for the purpose of a beanie, but it is literally the only place I could find colours of the Aboriginal flag, and here we are. It's probably not as bad as I'm making out, but just looking at it and feeling it, and I think probably because I haven't knit with acrylic for a long time is probably why I'm feeling that it just feels a bit icky. But for the purpose of a beanie and for the purpose of the gift knit that it's for, it'll be absolutely perfect. So, whoop, it's called Premium Acrylic from Portercraft. So I'm going to be doing that, but later in the year. And I'm probably going to do Kaylee from Home Teen Knits. She has released a pattern for a beanie this year. I don't remember the name of it. Sugar something? Maybe I'm making that up. I'll put it all down below. And I plan on making that hat in that yarn for that person. What else can I tell you about? Mum and I did an advent calendar for each other, and there's a lot of material for sewing. I won't show you all of it. I also got some lovely yarn. Where's the fifth one gone? These are 5 mini skeins from Make a Moran. I'm not sure the blend. I know it's 4-ply. Mum hasn't given me the details yet, but she will, and I'll put them in the link below, in the description below, sorry. Bear with me. And these are them. And they're just lovely colors. This one is looking brown on the screen, but it's, well, I suppose it is like a reddy brown kind of color. They are coming up true to color actually. My plan for these is to knit the Adelaide socks by the Melbourne maker, Mindful Melbourne maker. I bought that with the intent to do it before I got these as an advent knit. And I gifted one to my mum as well, and I gave her Scrappy yarn. So I think we'll do that together in the new year. If there's enough, I don't know. I don't know how much is in here. I have to make sure there's enough yarn. I also was gifted this cute little sewing felt craft kit of this little cat who is holding a bag of yarn and a basket of yarn, and it's just so super cute. I can't wait to make that. I was gifted as well some nylon cable for my interchangeable needles. The Knit Pro, I got one 120 centimeters and one 100 centimeters. And with my vouchers that I got for Christmas from my work colleague and other, sorry about the top of my head, I exchanged it for 2 skeins of the wild wool, the Erica Knight wild wool, which is both 100 grams of 85% wool and 15% nettle. And I already have 1 skein of this, so I got 2 more so that I can make something decent out of it. And I think I have about $15 left on my voucher. So I might put towards, if I need more, I can put my bag, I can put the money from the sale of my bags, my project bags that I made for Christmas. There's still a few available on my Ko-fi. The link is below. I am going to use that money if I need any more, depending on what project I decide to make with these. I have a plan to make some more project bags next year. They're the ones I started this year. I plan on making more next year, which is tomorrow, day after, weird.com. They're the Australiana style patchwork. If you look a few videos back, you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about. There's different Australian animals and I'm patchworking it with different scrappy material from my stash and making them into project bags for knitters. So they will be available sometime next year. I'm not sure when, but I'll keep you guys posted if you're interested. I've still got to work out a better way to have shipping for overseas that isn't so expensive. I'm not really too sure if I can do that. I sent my best friend's child a Christmas gift this year and she ended up having to pay for it the other end because of the UK customs. So I'm not sure if I'd be able to offer postage to the UK. However, I will be coming to the new UK at the end of next year. So if there's anyone that really wants any of my bags, I can bring them and you can buy them from me in England next year and I can post them when I'm in the country. That's a solution. That's probably a good solution. Anyway, something to think about. I don't think I will show you all the material from my advent. If you want to see any of it, go and have a look in my Vlogmas. It's beautiful, and if you do really want me to share it, then put a comment below and I will share it in the next podcast. For anyone that's only here for the knitting, I'm about to start talking about books now. So I will say Happy New Year to you all. Thank you for joining me. I'm grateful for you if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. I post once a fortnight at minimum, and I will try and endeavour to keep that going throughout the new year. So leave me a comment. I hope that you've had a great Christmas. I hope that you have a good new year. And for everyone else that would like to hear about what I'm reading, pick up your cuppa, have a sip, and join me now. So I'm currently reading a book called Raining Sideways, A Devonshire Diary of Food and Farming by Sally Vincent. It is a sort of journal entry style book. She is someone that lived in London and moved to Devon and took over a farm that was already established. She talks about daily life and growing things in season and what sorts of things you can make with the produce, both grown or sourced locally, grown locally in terms of fruit, veg, and meat, everything. It's a beautiful read, it's relaxing, and it's, keeping in the ethos of sourcing things locally. It is based in the UK, obviously, and I'm in Australia, but she's got little recipes at the end of each chapter, and it's just a little nice escapism for me to be reading that, and it's really good. I recommend it. And I got gifted 3 books for Christmas, 1 from my dad and 2 from my mom, thank you very much. One is called The Thursday Murder Club, and I believe there's a few in the series. This is one of them. I watched a movie recently and I want to read the books. Jenny Colgan, who I keep going on about in my podcasts or vlogs, whatever you want to call these. I love her writing. I'm enjoying her books, and I asked for some from her series, and I was given Christmas at Rosie Hopkins Sweet Shop. It's the second book in a series of 3, and I've used some of the project bag money to buy the first and the third one. So when they arrive, I will start at the beginning. And in the interest of upcycling, recycling, using what we already have, trying not to buy new, this was secondhand. And I also got gifted Revenge by Tom Bauer, which is about Meghan, Harry and the War on the Windsors, and this came from a street library. So they're something to look forward to reading in the new year. My philosophy for 2026 will be to enjoy myself, have fun, and get the balance, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember what I've told you and what I haven't because it's the second recording. So if I've already said this, my plan is to finish the projects I've started in this year leading into next, and not get too carried away with new shiny knits, to really slow it down and finish some objects before I cast anything new on. So yeah, thank you for joining me this entire year. For those of you that have, thank you for keeping me sane and showing up for the people. Hi, I've moved locations because this is the 6th time I've tried to film this. I've just deleted 500 videos from my phone. I'm really hoping that this won't cut out. It keeps saying I have no room left in my storage, so it's going to have a deep clean over the next few weeks before I film again. What I was trying to say, and I hope I haven't missed anything because it's been very jagged for me. I hope it doesn't come across that way for you. It's been stop-start. It's been stressful, to say the least. Thank you all for being here. Anyone that's been here for the last year, I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you watching, all your lovely comments, your kind words, and I hope that you join me again for another year. For anyone new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and say hi, and tell me where you're from, and thank you for joining me. Everybody, Happy New Year. I am grateful for you all. I hope that the new year brings all the joy and all the lovely knits for you. And I hope that this video doesn't come across too unhinged, because it's been a little cray-cray with all the hurdles and obstacles. But as my philosophy for my knitting is that everything is going to be imperfect, and so is this video. So if you've watched this far, put a emoji of champagne glasses and let's say cheers and Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys in 2026. See you next year. Bye. My sewing projects that I have next year are, I forget the name, I want to call it the Bobo or Bilbo vest. I still have that on my agenda. I have some more project bags that are going to come up in the next year, which will be on sale in my shop. They will be Australiana themed. There's sort of birds, there's koalas, there's all sorts of different Australian animals, and they're in like a patchwork style. If you watch a few videos back, you'll be able to see where I started those. But then Christmas came and got in the way of that. And I did some Christmas project bags, which there are still a few left. And I was toying with the idea of an Etsy shop next year. I spoke to you about that in my last episode. However, having spoken to a few people and really seeing the percentage that Etsy take, I don't even think I'm going to go there. I think that I have to find another way to get my name out there, or just keep doing what I'm doing and make a few and sell a few and enjoy the process of making them. I did sell a few more Christmas bags at the Knitters Guild Christmas party, so taking them along there, having maybe a market stall next year. Something where I can make a few, have fun with it, make a little bit of extra pocket money and not spend a lot on fees, basically. I may change my mind, but that's where I'm at with that decision at the moment.